Hello and welcome to my tutorial on how to do the new bosses in Old School RuneScape, the Royal Titans solo with 2 characters. My name is Del and you can find me over at twitch.tv/delvision if you want to find me over there and ask any questions about this. I'll be more than happy to answer you. But I'm trying to keep the guide as simple as possible. Try to make it as easy to get started with playing with 2 characters at the same time, and then I'll basically mention a couple things you can do to complicate it, do a little bit more damage, do things a little bit harder way, but maybe add a little bit more DPS if you want to. I personally prefer to kill things as simply as possible, so we will be starting with that. So, first things first, you of course need 2 characters for doing this. The reason I like doing the solo duo methods is because I prefer to relying on myself as much as possible, and sometimes it can be difficult to get a partner that will be able to grind with you for hours and hours, and I like doing that, so that's why I prefer doing this duo method instead of finding someone else. But I should mention that having a partner that actually plays their own character at the same time as you is actually gonna make it faster to kill the bosses, so it's still recommended that you do get a duo partner whenever it's available. But if you cannot find a partner and happen to have a alt, it's relatively simple to gear it up and have it help you here. You can do this with pretty low gear too, you don't need anything too crazy, but one of the requirements that I do fully recommend that you get is at least 70 magic attack and have one of the characters dedicated to do that. So my left side character right here will be only focusing on doing melee damage, so I have only melee strength in here. I do have the Twin Flame Staff and I could be using it, but I have next to no magic attack bonus right now with any of my gear, so this character will not be killing the elementals that spawn throughout the fight. I will be leaving it for the other character. So this other character will be focusing on doing the magic. And there's a couple different gears you could go for. You could go for more melee damage heavy gear, or you can go for more prayer heavy gear. So I like personally the high prayer bonus, but for the sake of demonstrating the damage you can do with melee gear, I'm gonna choose to go with that this time around. But both of them work. Higher magic or higher prayer bonus helps you to save on supplies. Higher melee strength helps you to kill the boss faster. Both of the characters, both this one and this one, will be doing mainly melee damage. Melee damage is gonna be the core focus. That's why I'm using currently the Blue Moon set, at least 2 parts of it, and I have intentionally not purchased the bottom part. The assets, they actually are slightly, actually is it assets? It doesn't matter. Either way, the Blue Moon bottom part I've chosen to use instead Mystic Rope bottom, just to add a little bit of more accuracy. So right now, if I equip all of my magic gear, I have over 70 magic attack bonus, and this will be enough to always hit the elementals. You need at least 70 to always hit them. More magic accuracy doesn't help you, you don't need it. Less accuracy means that you might be splashing on them sometimes. So you do want to get that 70 magic attack as well, you do want to get the 70 magic attack, and that's it. Rest of the gear should be dedicated for more melee damage. So as much melee damage as you can will make the fight faster. Now you can bring ranged gear, but I don't recommend having more than single character to do the ranged part. But you can do it with both of the characters. You could bring like a blowpipe or something to help with the other character, but I'm gonna choose to do it as simple as possible, so we will be leaving the toxic blowpipe behind, and instead we are just gonna bring some food, some prayer potions, and that's it. A super combat potion will obviously help you. More melee damage, that's very important in this fight. So just high melee accuracy, high melee damage is all you want for killing the bosses. Right, let's move on to here, and I'll talk about a little bit my Ultimate Iron Man on the left side. So this character, again, melee gear, and then I have a ranged switch on it. So I'm actually not going to be utilizing the magic staff or the crystal halberd this time. I do have a special attack on this character too, but the special attack will be saved for the other character. So it will be coming to help with the Dragon Warhammer It's a normie alt, relatively easy to buy a Dragon Warhammer these days, only 20 million currently from Grand Exchange, so that will help both of the characters to hit the targets a little bit more accurately. So I will be dedicating this one character for one single special attack at the start of the fight. Now when I'm first entering the place, I will actually not be able to do the melee special attack because the characters will start moving immediately. So what you want to do here is that with your special attack character, I will actually select the special attack already. I have prayers set up on both of these, so quick prayers are as follows. The character that will be doing the ranged will be starting with the ranged bonus, so I will be using the new Deadeye prayer. Could use Rigor, could use Eagle Eye, any of them work. So you will be having melee protection always on both of the characters, and this character that will be going in first will start with ranged. So we will be doing that just right now, and the other character will be joining shortly after, so we can prepare this character already to join here. You can write your character name down here, or you can select the last name to join it again. Alright, so let's go. Let's enter the tunnel, select the first option, toggle the quick prayers, and we'll be going in. Might as well drink the super combat potion at this point too, and we'll start just killing the boss. Right. Getting hit by the walls doesn't matter super much, but you generally do want to avoid damage if possible. So you are basically buying some time at the start here, but now let's go in with the other character. I'll have to clear up some of the walls, so I'll show you changing the magic right there, shooting the walls down, and now we are ready with both of the characters. I'm still gonna do the special attack whenever the boss gets close, but usually you would want to do that a little bit earlier, right? Alright, let's drink the super combat on the alt as well, and I'm gonna be killing the elementals on the other character. This character can change to melee already at this point of the fight. The right side, the mages obviously do want to have melee protection on it too, don't want to die here. So that's what the food is for. You don't usually need food in this place, but it's still good to bring the food just in case you take any extra damage. Alright, so I didn't explain the fight too much in here, I just started doing it, but the second phase, very important, you move both of the characters to the circle at the same time. The right side character is almost dead, we can ignore it for rest of the fight and just simply kill this character with melee. Whenever the elementals spawn, change to staff, and then on the mage character, you will be killing the elementals, then changing back to melee. The other character keeps the melee on. You will not be using the ranged while doing duo. If you had a partner and you play only single character, it's easy to change here to range, shoot once, change back to melee. So you can do that if you want to speed up the fight a little bit to do a little bit of melee, but most of the time it's more important to just focus on not taking damage from the elementals. Go to circles, kill the elementals, change back to the melee gear, and repeat. You will be mostly focusing on melee gear throughout the whole fight. Only time you will be changing to the magic gear is whenever the elementals spawn. That's the only time. Right, so just kill with melee, and once the bosses are about to die, that's when you can balance out their hit points and try to kill them at the same time to avoid taking any extra damage. So we need to go all the way to there. Also, I like to look to the west always when I'm here, just so that I have both of the characters aligned the same way. We can just go kill the bosses right here and don't need to worry about the elementals because they will despawn the second the bosses die. Alright, and when starting a new fight, we will first be focusing on the melee character. So we select the Dragon Warhammer, whatever special weapon you want to use, select special attack, toggle the prayers on both of the characters, and then just hit with the melee character. Right there. And then change the other character to shoot with ranged. At this point, if you bring ranged gear on both of the characters, you can of course attack with the ranged, but I do personally find it easier if you just focus on a single character at a time. You can bring the melee gear on both of the characters but or range gear with both of the characters, and it will speed up this part of the fight. But this part of the fight is actually relatively quick, usually, so you just need to take the boss down to like 200 hit points, and they will walk to the middle. They will teleport to the middle, as the cool kids say. I don't know what people are talking about when they're talking about the teleport method. I always thought this was the normal way of killing the boss, is that you just get it to teleport to the middle, right? But people keep talking about teleport method. Alright, anyway, there we go. Both of them are back here, so we go back to the melee phase. It will almost immediately spawn a circle when they get to the middle. Make sure always to keep your prayer nice and high. Keep drinking those prayer potions, don't want to run out of it or you will be taking a lot of damage. Elemental spawn, change to staff, kill it. If there is more than one, you kill them both and then you change back to melee gear. And that's it. That's the fight. Now you can complicate the fight more, like I said, if you bring more gear switches, you could do them. Like for example, both of the characters, when you are running to the circle, you can change the range right here. You could do it on both of the characters, shoot once, change back to melee, and go back to fight. It adds a lot of extra clicks, makes the fight a little bit faster, but it's not completely necessary. It's much better to just focus on keeping the prayer high, taking as little damage as possible, and trying to kill the bosses at the same time. So right there, the Ice Giant is currently lower hit points, so we want to go to the Fire Giant. We want to focus on this guy instead and try to kill them at the same time, right? And I like sticking to one character at the same time. You can choose to go both of the elementals, both of the giants at the same time like this. It's possible, but it's way easier to do this fight if you actually focus on a single character at a time. Now, for more extra stuff, if you want to, you can do 2 special attacks at the start of the fight. You just have to basically select melee here on this character and melee there. Both of the characters are ready to do a special attack. Start with the reducing defense and then go for a second one. But now you'll have to basically start changing your gear back and so on. Like this will complicate it a little bit more, the fight, if you actually bring extra switches and extra damage types. The range is optional, makes the fight faster if you do it, but I recommend doing it as simple as possible at the start, and then slowly over time you will start add more complications, make the fight a little bit more complicated by bringing more things to do during the fight. But keeping it simple first, way easier to get successful kills without taking extra damage. That's most important in here, is that you try to avoid taking damage. Because if you take damage, then you will get shorter trips, but you can of course do it if you get confident about killing the bosses relatively easily every single time without taking any damage. Then you can bring extra gear, make it a little bit faster. But I personally find it's pretty fast already with two characters. You don't generally need anything more than this. It is pretty simple boss fight. The only thing you need to worry about is not taking damage, and you can solo the boss just fine. By the way, when you're learning this fight, if you want to learn first, just do a solo run. It will be much longer kills because you will be doing like half of the damage you would be doing with 2 characters, but you learn all the mechanics first, and then once you are familiar with the mechanics, then bring the other character that can help you too. Or you can do just regular runs with other people first, and then once you have done a little bit of that, then you get more confident about doing it on your own. And I think that's most of it. I don't think there is too many other things I need to talk about in here. In short, you basically start with a little bit of special attacks, and then once the special attacks have gone, you just mostly focus on melee. So keep that melee damage nice and high throughout the fight. Keep drinking super combats as the stats keep dropping lower. Alternatively, you could use the ones that only last 5 minutes, but I prefer using the regular ones myself. And that's it. That's it. So if there's any questions, drop by in my Twitch channel. Let me know if you like the guide, and I'll talk to you there. So until next time, until then, my name is Del. This has been Delvision, and it's Del signing out. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. And go get that loot. Bye!